Good morning, beautiful people. Amazon, give us a flash briefing.
Jamie, here's your flash briefing. In NPR News.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Corva Coleman. President Biden will meet with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy today. Republicans and Democrats are at odds over raising the federal government's debt ceiling. The government cannot borrow more money to pay bills it has already incurred unless Congress acts. The Treasury Department is now taking extraordinary action to prevent a catastrophic
Like it is.
default.
It's
NPR's
increasing your
Winston
debt,
reports.
not raising
President
your debt
Biden
limit.
and
Come
congressional
on.
Democrats have repeatedly argued that the nation's debt ceiling should be raised without conditions, pointing to past precedent. But some Republicans
that.
appear ready to
Don't
use
give
the
them no more
shutdown
money.
as a
Cut
bargaining
their
chip
butt
to
off
force
cold.
cuts in
They're too
government
corrupt.
spending. The White House warns that not
They're too
lifting the
corrupt.
borrowing limit would
They line their
result
own
in the
pockets and they
U.S.
don't pay it back.
defaulting on its debt for the first time ever.
Finito.
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy has said that Republicans will not allow a default and that cuts to Social Security and Medicare would be off the table in negotiations. Without an increase by early June, the government will run out of money to pay its bills.
Shut
Windsor
'em
Johnston,
down.
NPR News, Washington.
Forecasters say a mammoth ice storm is blanketing the Mid-South and Texas. Heavy sleet and
They won't do
freezing
the right
rain
thing
are
with the
piling
money
dangerous
anyhow.
amounts of ice on
proven.
roadways and power lines. Bob
They give it
Orbeck
to
is
the
the lead
allies of
forecaster
Hitler
with the
in
National
Ukraine.
Weather Service.
Ice has been accumulating for the past 24 hours from Texas all the way northeastward through Arkansas, parts of Missouri, northwestern Mississippi, and western Tennessee. And it looks like we're going to have at least another 24 hours of potential for additional icing across those areas.
The site poweroutage.us says 250,000 customers are in the dark and cold in Texas. The tracking site FlightAware says over 1,000 flights in the U.S. have been delayed today. The dangerously icy weather in Tennessee has prompted a delay in today's funeral for Tyree Nichols. The motorist died after a severe beating last month by Memphis police officers. Civil rights activist and Reverend Al Sharpton
Yep,
will deliver
that's
the
not
eulogy.
cool.
One of the mourners in the audience will be Vice President Harris. Stocks opened lower this morning as investors wait for word on the Federal Reserve's latest interest rate move. NPR's Scott Horsley reports the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell nearly 200 points.
Okay, did
in
she
early
know the
trading.
guy,
The
or
Fed is widely
is she
expected
just
to raise
looking for a
interest rates
photo op
by
at
a
a
quarter
funeral? Come
percentage
on.
point this afternoon. That would be the 8th rate hike in less than a year, but the smallest
Oh,
increase
well.
since last
I
March.
have to look that
Inflation
up later.
has showed signs of cooling in recent months, although
Harris.
prices are still climbing faster than the central bank would like. Investors will be
If you
listening
didn't know,
closely to what
I
Fed Chairman
apologize.
Jerome Powell has to say about how much higher interest rates are likely to go and how long they're likely to stay there. The Fed is also keeping a close eye on the job market. A report from payroll processing company ADP suggests private sector hiring slowed sharply last month. We'll get a more complete picture of the job market on Friday when the Labor Department reports on January's job gains. Scott Horsley, NPR News, Washington.
This is NPR.
I'm gonna have to research that Kamala Harris.
The Justice Department is searching President Biden's
she know
home
this
in
guy?
Rehoboth, Delaware today.
'Cause that's a
This is
heck of a
part of
thing
its
to do
investigation into
for a photo op.
classified documents that have been found among his personal files.
Go to
President
somebody's
Biden's
funeral.
personal lawyer has released a statement. Bob Bauer called this a planned search. He said it had Biden's, quote, full support and cooperation. Bauer said he would have more information after the search is complete. California has issued its own proposal for 7 western states to share water from the Colorado River. From member station
7
KUNC,
states?
Alex Hager has
Trying to
more.
dry it
This
up or
proposal
what?
comes a day after the other 6 states that use the river's water agreed to their own. California's would
6
conserve less
plus
water
7?
and asks federal authorities to respect existing laws for how the river
So
is
13
shared.
states
The
gonna be
proposal
sharing
is
the
mostly
same?
hinged on a plan first announced last October,
Sounds
where California would cut back on its Colorado River use by about 9%. Both California's pitch and the other 6-state agreement come as feds are looking for new ways to prop up the nation's
Oh, the
largest
feds
reservoirs.
are involved in this
Climate
crookedness.
change is
I
shrinking
see.
supplies, and states have been
Shut 'em
deadlocked
down.
over plans
Give
to
'em no
reduce
pay.
demand. For NPR News, I'm Alex Hager in Fort Collins, Colorado.
Today is the second anniversary of the military overthrow of Myanmar's democratically elected government. A junta has controlled the country ever since. Opponents to the junta have called a silent strike today. People stayed home or closed their businesses for hours. The UN says the Myanmar junta's crackdown on civilians is evidence of growing crimes against humanity. I'm Corva Coleman, NPR News in Washington.
This message comes from NPR sponsor Google. For over 20 years, Google has been protecting Americans from cybersecurity
Amazon.
threats. From
Skip.
In NASA news,
Now listen to Google
on behalf of
commercial.
President Joe Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris awarded former NASA astronauts Douglas Hurley and Robert Behnken the Congressional Space Medal of Honor Tuesday for their bravery in NASA's SpaceX Demonstration Mission 2, Demo 2, to the International Space Station in 2020. When it comes to NASA, most people look to the skies as rockets, rovers, and astronauts push the boundaries of space exploration. But the benefits of going
Do
above
they?
and beyond
Do
can be
most
found
people-
here on
or do
Earth for
most people
products
just
and
live their
services
life and not
born
even
from
look
NASA
up?
Innovation. NASA has awarded a modification to extend the period of performance of the Goddard Logistics and Technical Information 2, GLTI-2, services contract with Trax International Corporation of Las Vegas. Vice President Kamala Harris will award former NASA astronauts Douglas Hurley and Robert Behnken the Congressional Space Medal of Honor at 4:25 p.m. EST on Tuesday, January 31st. Hurley and Behnken will receive the award for bravery in NASA's SpaceX Demonstration Mission 2, Demo 2, to the International Space Station in 2020.
Apparently we're
Two
repeating.
astronauts aboard the International Space Station will conduct a spacewalk Thursday,
Okay.
February 2nd, to
Amazon.
continue the installation.
Off. Amazon. Tell us a joke.
What did the cow say to the chicken?
Moo.
You seem a little under the feather. You should go recoup.
Why would a cow say that? That's stupid, Amazon. Alright. Have a great day. Peace.